Hey guys, it's Cameron here with Emerson House Buyers. Every week I bring you tools, tactics, strategies, lessons I've learned, things that have helped me build up a sizable rental portfolio in about 2 years and now manage that portfolio. Today I'm fielding a question from a subscriber. I will read the question, then we'll cover it. It should be a fairly quick answer here. So the question is from Shaka. I just had a quick question for wholesaling properties. I have a property under contract from the motivated seller. However, the buyer who I am using the assignment contract for wants to pay with a conventional loan. I know when you usually make an assignment deal, you need a cash buyer. I was wondering if you were able to make an assignment deal with a buyer who wants to use a conventional loan to pay. And if he is able to use a conventional loan, what are the steps I need to take to get the deal finalized and get my finder's fee? Great question, Shaka. The biggest piece around this is the step 3. I'm going to pull it up here on my end. So if you guys haven't seen the Trek contract, I walk you through that. You can check out that video, and you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about here. So in number 3 on the Trek contract, it has the sales price. You have A, which has the cash portion at closing, and then you have B from all the financing, any assumptions, and then you have C, the sum of all those, right? So A, cash, B, the loans and financing, and C, the total. What we have always done, and I'm not saying this is right, wrong, or indifferent, but what we have always done is just filled out C. So if we knew we had a private money lender, we knew we were bringing cash to the table, I'd put A and make that equal C. But I would just leave C where it's at. So I would just put, if we were going to buy the property for $100,000, I would just put $100,000 in line at line C, 3C. If and why is that? So if you end up needing to close conventionally for whatever reason and need to get some financing, then you don't have to worry about going through and rewriting the contract and having to ask the seller, or having the seller ask, well, why are you changing this number? And it's not going to be the final number to the seller, but you'll have to put some cash portion down and some loan portion down. And that can create some unneeded questions from the seller. And I'm not saying try to pull over anything wool over their eyes, but what I'm getting at is make it smooth by just putting C. Let them know what value they're getting, or what the dollar value, the sales price that they're getting, and that's it. They don't need to know if you're getting it from Uncle Bob, money from Bob, a loan from so-and-so, as long as they're getting their same sales price. The other portion though, so conventional loans, so that's one piece. That's the one side. Line C, you just fill out line C. Since it sounds like you already have the contract, I don't know if you put that in A, B, or C. I don't know what you did there, but that's number 1. Number 2, on page... This is again using the Trek contract here. On page, if I can get this to work. There is, on page 5 of the Trek contract, you have the closing date. Now, the date says on or before blank date. That's number 9. So you have to make sure that you meet that deadline. You can close before, but you can't close after. If you want to close after, then you'll have to go through, scratch that out, have everything initialed, or write up a brand new contract. That is the other piece. So 1 is the sales price that has to be equal, but number 2, conventional loans take a lot longer. So you got to make sure that you can close within that deadline. And it sounds like it's not you, it's the end buyer. So you're going to have to make sure that the end buyer can close on that in your timeline, right? If they can, maybe they have some great conventional loan broker, then that's fine. There's no issues. If you have any issues with the 2 things I discussed, the sales price number 3C, that it's just the total price, or you're not going to be able to meet this number 9, the closing date, then you're going to have to redo the contract. There's no issues with redoing the contract. We've redone them hundreds of times because things come up, and as long as you talk through with the seller, you let them know what you're doing, 99 times out of 100 haven't had any issues. They typically understand they're already that far in the deal. You know, I personally, we don't like to pull things last minute. Oh, the day before closing, sorry, I need a $5,000 reduction. We don't do that. But in things like this where you are actually going to get the deal sold, you just need a little bit more time, then just communicate that. That I guess would be, if I had to say there was a third piece, effective communication between you and the seller and your end buyer. So, Shaka, I hope that made sense. I hope that answers your question. If it does, let me know. If it doesn't, let me know. I apologize for the people who asked questions before this. It sounded like Shaka was under a time constraint, having a deal under contract here. So I kind of moved him or her ahead of the queue for this question. So you guys continue to ask questions, and I'll continue to answer them. And let me know if you guys are finding these valuable or not. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks.